I am Professor Paul Ekins, and I'm Professor of Resources and Environmental Policy at University College London, and I founded and was the director of the Institute for Sustainable Resources. So I'm very interested in sustainability and everything to do with that.
And why are you here in Trieste today?
Well, I think the honest answer is because I have friends in Trieste in the university. We met at an international conference last year or the year before, and they very kindly invited me to come to speak at the Trieste Next Scientific Festival, and that meant that they then asked me to participate in the summer school in the Dolomiti, which has just taken place, and then the Department of Economics asked me to give a lecture here today.
And which ones do you believe are the biggest challenges of environmental sustainability in Europe today? If you could share this with us.
Well, both in Europe and globally, there are basically three big challenges, and they're all interlinked with each other. One is obviously climate change, and we see that on our television screens most days. The other is biodiversity loss, the destruction of nature. And the third is pollution. And clearly, the CO2 emissions that contribute to climate change are a form of pollution. But then there's plastics, and there's other forms of air pollution that that lead to health problems in cities, for example. But those are basically the big three, and we need to sort them out.
And how do you see these three biggest challenges in approximate future or in a future in general?
Well, that depends on the political choices that we make. So we have the technologies, and I'm convinced about that. I was talking in the summer school to electrical engineers. We can get a different kind of electricity system with the technologies that we have. So the question then is an economic question: how much will it cost, and will it be very expensive? And I'm an economist, and my answer to that question is no, that this is very affordable. It may cost a little more than fossil fuel technologies, or it may cost quite a lot less, because many renewable energy technologies are now much cheaper than fossil fuels. So that's the technology and the economics. The question then is about the politics, because this won't happen without strong government policy. And at the moment, in many countries, that's a bit of a problem. We don't have governments that are putting in place the policies that they need to. And it's up to us, the people, in democracies, to demand that they do.
And if you mind a personal question, do you like Trieste?
Of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come back. It was a very, very interesting city for me to visit. I was here for 3 or 4 days over the Trieste Next, the scientific festival. And, I was able to walk about a lot. It's very different from most Italian cities. And I love Italy, and I come here pretty well every year. And we always go to an interesting Italian city. So we have been to many of the less well-known ones, like Ferrara and Parma and Padova and Mantova. I had never been to Trieste, and Trieste is very different, perhaps because of its Austro-Hungarian history, so that many of the buildings could be in Vienna, which is also a lovely city. It was absolutely fascinating.